at the beginning of the year, I set a goal to have 5 sources of income specifically from social media, and I've currently on about.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ash Edwards podcast. Today, I'm joined by Kian, Penkrat. How you doing, mate?
Doing good, man. Been a busy few weeks. Just came back from summer, so just trying to get back into the swing of things, back to our routine. How have you been? You been good?
Yeah, brilliant, to be fair. Brilliant. I'm going to get straight into it. You've got around 56,000 followers on TikTok, which has shot up recently because I remember messaging you and you're on about 40k. And along with about 6k on Insta, you've got a couple of hundred on YouTube. As briefly as you can, but not too vaguely, how did all this come about?
I like the first question. So basically, I started posting right. So the lockdown where it was the one after Christmas, so not the long one, it was the second one that we did. Um, they shut gyms, so I was literally only going gym for about 3 or 4 months at this point. They shut gyms, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and my whole TikTok was full of all the UK gym talk scenes. So I'd, like your Alex Eubank, he's not as known in the UK here, but like J Lane Fit, Jayco Elk. They were I was seeing them on my For You page every day, and it really just made me want to make content because I started like I was like typical gym bro at the beginning, like so obsessed with the gym, and I just started making content on it really. So I think my first video was like, welcome to Gym Talk. If you need anything, like it was a really bad video. It did about 1,000 views, which I'm quite surprised for like first video on a new account. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna try and post once a day. I had a few video. I think like my first video that like popped off was a squat transformation where I went from I think it was like 40 kilos to like 120, and it did like 25,000 views. It was on my third video ever being posted, and I was like, I had like 200 followers. I was like, do you know what? I love it. I love the feeling of like seeing the numbers go up. And I was getting some really nice supportive messages. I think that video had like 30 comments, and most of them were like, "Well done, mate," and they were like really helpful tips of how I could improve my squat form, etc. So I just kept posting from there. Really, just gave me that motivation to keep posting. Hit the first 1,000 followers, second 2,000 followers. I remember for hitting 3,000 followers, I said I was going to do 3,000 squats, like bodyweight squats, in that day. And I did it all, and the I lost all the footage. So I did 3,000 bodyweight squats for nothing. I have nothing to show for it. But yeah, I just kept posting. I had like waves of where I'd go like I'd gain like 10,000 followers in a week or something, and then somewhere I would literally only gain about 100. But yeah, just fell in love with the journey. Met some really lovely people across the way, like other people in like the UK gym talk scene now, like Toby Walton, Sam Rayburn, etc. And yeah, I've just kept up with it, up the frequency to about 2 to 3 videos a day now. I've fallen off a little bit. I haven't posted that much recently. Just been busy enjoying my summer, but I'm back on that content grind. Same with Insta. I only actually started the Instagram about 6 odd months ago. Reels are the way forward of that. I just started posting all my backlog TikToks, some nice quality pictures, and grew that up. But yeah, I built up a nice little community. Obviously, the My Protein as well caught me along because that was another big goal that I really wanted to work towards, getting sponsored by them. I remember saying at the beginning of the year, I was like, by the end of the year, I want a clothing slash some supplement sponsor. So I'm happy I've completed that goal as well.
Obviously, it's quite a wide spectrum. I want to put you in a scenario, right? Because obviously you're quite young at the moment. Say you're at a family gathering or you're at somewhere where you're meeting new people and someone asks you, what do you do? Do you say you're in college or do you say that I'm an influencer? Or you're, I post gym videos on TikTok. What do you say?
So whenever I get asked that question, because I go to a few networking events as well, and it's the typical question is, "Oh, what is it that you do?" So I tend to always say, I'm currently studying I'm in my last year of A levels now, doing math, physics, engineering. Alongside, I make content on social media, both TikTok and Instagram, along with YouTube, all to do with the fitness niche and just helping people, inspiring people to get started in the gym. Because like providing that information there to like the actual real information. Because when I started, there was so much like bad, like wrong information on how to do certain exercises, like how to lose weight, how to gain muscle. So I always try and say I'm trying to be that bridge to bridge the gap between being where they are now to where they want to be in terms of their physique and fitness goals. and just trying to motivate the younger generation into getting back into the gym, because it's crazy how like it's become more of a trend now to get into the gym. So I love to see it, and I love to see people younger than me like looking insane like with their physique. So just trying to motivate and inspire all the younger people for sure.
Now, you said you're in the second year of A levels, didn't you? When I was in school, if I'd started my own social media, obviously I'm 20 now, so a couple of years older than you. If I started my own social media and put up the content you do, psychologically, I wouldn't last a day, if I'm honest. And that definitely came down to my low levels of self-confidence. But I can also imagine a lot of other people were like me when they were in school. And maybe it's a different generation now, but can still imagine a lot of people are in that situation. How do you manage that feeling of when you walk into college, this feeling of, oh, these people might have seen my content, you know, what they're thinking about me? How do you deal with that? And how do you kind of just like cut that out and let yourself focus on what you really want to do?
Well, as with anything, in the beginning, you're not gonna get the support from everyone. As I always say, you're gonna get 1,000 views before you get 1,000 likes, always. But I was quite lucky with when I started. So I started at the beginning of lockdown. So what I had about 3 or 4 months before I was actually going to see any of them. By the time I came back, I think I had over 10,000 followers, or like I was on like 8 or 9K. And it kind of just showed to people that like I was like kind of serious about it. Um, Obviously, I had the odd like comment like, "Oh, your stuff is so like, but like, why are you posting? Like, it's so weird or so cringe." But realistically, like, in their opinion doesn't affect me at all. I enjoyed it, and I was getting so much more positive feedback than I was negative, that I just outweighed. Especially now, I'm known as the guy who just makes fitness content. Like, coming back from summer, I've literally like walking down the corridor, I hear people from the younger years be like, "Oh, he's the guy on TikTok," or "He's the guy who makes the videos." I had a kid ask me the other day for a picture, which was quite cute. So I'm quite in a lucky position where I get quite a positive feedback from everyone and support, especially from all my mates. And they like the odd joke here and there, especially with a few of my videos that I've made, like the shaving my balls sort of video. Mostly been positive feedback, even along with my teachers. They support what I do, especially when they found out about the my protein thing. They were absolutely shocked, because obviously it's not every day you see a 17-year-old with the largest supplement company being sponsoring them. So
I was going to ask you this later on, but I feel like every other day I see someone else getting sponsored by My Protein. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into how that actually works?
So there's two ways of getting sponsored. You can either apply yourself through like an email, and you basically just try and sell yourself into why you fit to the brand and why they should sponsor you, really. I think minimum requirements is to have like over 10,000 followers, and there's a few other like small things. Or they reach out to you. So obviously it's everyone's dream to be sponsored, whether that be from My Protein or another similar company, especially like a supplement company, because we all know the rise of protein powder is getting expensive now. But I think I sent about 2 or 3 emails, and I like every time I check my emails every morning, and I just didn't get no response. I know some people have got it through the email thing, but unfortunately for myself, I just didn't get it through. They actually reached out to me, so I literally got home one day after a driving lesson, and I had a message request from a person, and the name was a girl, and I was like, okay, girls don't usually message me. Let's see who this is. Went into the message straight away, and it was, I'm a brand manager at no, I'm a uh, what are they called, like a ambassador manager for My Protein, and I'd love to have a chat with you about bringing you on board. And I literally was ecstatic. I remember jumping around the living room telling my mum. I literally called a few of my mates and was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, they just reached out to me, and then we got the code set up. They send obviously a monthly voucher, etc. And they're lovely company. Like my manager, she's lovely. She literally, any questions I got, she responds as soon as possible. Any issues, they get sorted out straight away. Um, there's so much. How do I say it? There's so much, like there's a large future with them. Obviously, you can get put on a salary. There's all the events that they host. So hopefully, the next My Protein Labs, I'll actually have a VIP band, because when I went last time, I wasn't sponsored yet, so I didn't get to go in the VIP bit. But yeah, there's definitely some good perks to being sponsored by them.
What would your advice be for people around your age or someone wanting to start doing what you do to overcome that initial confidence barrier? Because, you know, a lot of the time it can seem like, you know, your school life is your whole life. And when you're going to school and you're doing stuff like that, there's obviously the worry that of what people will think. But it's a different world nowadays. What would your advice be?
My advice would be to anyone just wanting to make content or make it somewhat big on social media platforms is to make the content that you love doing. Every video you make, just make it a video that you would want to see yourself. Like, don't just be making videos just to like specifically for views or specifically just to like pop off. Because sometimes you can make controversial videos that will do really well, but they won't actually add anything to your personal brand, sort of thing. So I'd say just literally the big, like, as hard as it sounds, is just to post. Like, go in the gym, get your phone, literally get a water bottle, pop it up, and just record yourself. Do certain exercises. In the beginning, you can literally just do text over the screen videos or like relatable stuff, and then you'll get the comments coming in. Obviously, you can do the simple transformation videos just to show people a bit of your story. And then I'd say as soon as possible, try and get the talking to camera sort of thing. Like, get your personality across, because I found you could have 100,000 followers, but they don't mean nothing if they don't know anything about you and they don't actually care about you. But you can have 20 to 30,000 followers that are actually loyal and care about you, and that means so much more. Like, you have to build up an audience. Obviously that comes with time, but you have to build up an audience that support you, especially if you're looking to get partnerships, sponsorships, etc. with big brands. They see the main thing they focus on is the influence you actually have on your audience rather than the actual number, because realistically, for some people it's so easy just to get 20,000 followers just from a few videos that just blow off and hit the algorithm really well. So my biggest advice is literally just to get posting, post what you love. At the end of the day, you're gonna get hate both from people you know and both from people that you don't know across the internet. But you just got to do your best to like block it out. If it's a hate comment, delete it, because realistically, if there's one hate comment, they're going to attract more. And just focus on all the positives you get from it, and just make content that you love making. That's my biggest advice for anyone trying to start out.
And they really thought about that, kind of actually deleting those hate comments, because I mean, my first impression is if you delete a comment, you're kind of censoring people and their opinions and things like that. But really, actually, you're right, aren't you? Have you seen that before, where one hate comment comes and then they all kind of rush in, and then on the other side, if you delete that quickly and you don't really see it.
It depends. So like, if it's in the early stage, like if I've just posted a video and like one of the first like 10 comments is a hate comment, I'm most likely will just get rid of it. Like, if it's especially something like really bad, like I will just get rid of it. If it's just something light, like 9 times out of 10 I'll keep it there. But if it's like a few weeks later or like a day after the video's been posted, the video's got like 100 comments, I'm not going to delete it because there's no point. No one's going to really see it. But especially if it's in like the first few comments, I will delete it. And if it's really bad of a comment, like which really is just uncalled for, I will just get rid of it, because at the end of the day, it just spawns people to drive more hate. If they see one hate comment and they're like a hater themselves, they'll drop a hate comment as well.
What have you noticed that is like the biggest thing in impacting growing your social media? Like, what's kind of like the secret that people should know coming into this, starting out?
I'd say there's two things. They both counteract themselves though. So both quality and quantity. So in the beginning, you want to be posting so much. You want to literally 2 to 3. Like, I was put like when I started, it was once a day. But that was when I started almost like 2 years ago now. So like there was much less like competition, such to say. But like now, I'd say try and post 2 to 3 times a day. Just any ideas you get, just make them into videos. See what does well. Find your niche. Find the videos you actually like making. And then double down on that sort of videos. Make them good quality. So I invested in getting a new camera. Literally, I got a G7X Mark II, and today I literally just bought a new camera, which is about over £1,000. And it's crazy because I know I can just record on my phone, but I like having a nice quality, have good lighting, have good audio. So obviously I've got the wireless Rode mics, like that's up my quality and incredible. It allows me to do more style of videos as well. I can go further away from the camera, gym vlogs, etc. So I'd say in the beginning, focus on quantity, just keep posting, find what works well for you, find what the people that are following you like as well, and then try and improve that quality over time. At the My Protein Labs, I was speaking to Maxi Lifts. He's got over like 400k now, I think. And his biggest advice to me was quality over quantity. At the stage I was at, I think I was at about 30K at this point. And since then, what that was about 3 months ago, now I've basically almost doubled. So 100% quality over quantity once you build up that audience. But in the beginning, just get the videos pumping out.
Sounds like great advice. The thing I kind of noticed about you was the fact that you're not an ordinary fitness influencer, and I will get onto to why that is. But I kind of see you as a little bit of an entrepreneur. I'm not sure if you really agree with me or not, but and there's nothing wrong with it. But you know, you've got the My Protein sponsorship. You've got a number of ads on your social media. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen a few so far. You had that bulking guide to bulking as well that you released. Kind of like the was it kind of like an ebook kind of thing? It was, wasn't it?
It's, yeah, it's like a recipe book. It's got like 40 plus recipes, all to do with bulking. I is in partnership with my friend Sam Rayburn. He's got over about 120,000 followers across all platforms, and it was just to try and help because we both started off by being really skinny. So it's just all of the recipes that we used to get from about 40 to 50 kilos to about the 70, 80 kilos where we're at now.
So I don't want to get too personal with it, but like seems like a lot of streams of different income, and you know you're quite young to be doing it. How much, and without taking this the wrong way, how much of a motivator is money when you're doing stuff like this?
Good question. So obviously, my whole life has changed since making content, and I've now come to the point where it's now my main focus, being a content creator, whether that be for myself and for other people, whether that be editing or recording for them, is what I love doing. I love being in the creative industry. I love being like I was never that guy to be good at drawing or be good at art or like express my creativity in that way. But when it comes to with a camera, with my laptop, I love like seeing what I can make with it. So my whole life has switched. I did want to go uni, etc., and all of that, but now I really want to take this to like the next level. So obviously, to be able to do that, I need to make money from it. And I've always been one to try and make money, whether that like in school, like I've literally been trying to sell. I don't know if I've got any actually. Bear with me 1 second. So like with our lanyards, they had like really bad card holders. So I got some like cheap plastic, like nicer ones. Been selling them. Like whenever there's a problem, I try and fix it and try and make a bit of money from it, basically. So as I'm trying to take this to the next level and make it my full-time thing, I've got to see make different sources of income. At the beginning of the year, I set a goal to have 5 sources of income specifically from social media, and I've currently on about 6 or 7, which is I exceeded the goal, thankfully. But money is definitely a big motivator because to be able to take this full time, I need to be able to make a full time wage from it. And I know there's the amount of money you can make in the creative industries is incredible, as it's the next way forward. A lot of brands are trying to recruit social media managers, people to edit, people to record for them, because they know a lot of the younger generations are glued to their phones. So making content is a big thing for them. So I know I've gone like a bit like skewish with this one, but money is definitely a big motivator for me because I want to take this full time. So I'm looking to see many different avenues that I can monetize. And things like with the ultimate guide to bulky and my workout plans, I don't do them just for specifically money. Like I made them just to be able to help people, add value into people's lives. But obviously, it's another source of income for me and another way for people to directly support me to be able to do this full time, me be able to make more content, etc.
I'll be lying if I didn't tell you I was jealous, but I also respect the hell out of it. To be fair, it's very smart, and I mean a lot of lads your age, a lot of people your age, sorry, they don't even know how money works in the real world. They just they get their pocket money every month from mum and dad, and they go and spend it and on whatever they like. So you're very different in that aspect. Your main tip for people your age trying to generate that online income.
Well, firstly, I would focus on trying to not do it or like start online because it's really like it takes time and you've got to have that patience there. I work a part-time job. I do about 20 odd hours a week anyway. So I'm currently working at Nando's, but I used to work at a Caribbean restaurant. So if you're over the age of 16, get a job as soon as possible. You learn so much from it, whether that be just social skills, especially if you're in like a waiter or retail job. You develop your social skills, develop your confidence. You obviously have a wage now, so improve your money management, you improve your time management skills. There's so many different things you can gain from just getting a job than just money. So I definitely recommend getting a job first to try and do it part time so you can balance it with studies, social life, etc. And alongside, if you're wanting to do online income, find ways that you can make money. So I develop a high income skill. So for me, I've been working on my editing skills. So I'm now become an editor for about 4 or 5. I've got about 4 or 5 clients that I edit for. So that's literally taken me about 6 months to build up my editing skills. I've learned fully self taught all from YouTube. Didn't buy no course, etc. And now I'm editing for people and they pay me a decent amount of money for it. So find a high income skill that you can monetize and put it on Fiverr, network with people and like get your name out there. Because I was editing for one person, they put me on their story and that brought in about 3 other people that to edit for. And I've had loads of like requests to edit for them. So try and get your name out there, get people to spread that about. Because word of mouth is so underrated. It's actually incredible. If you're looking to make money through social media, obviously, if you're under the age of 18, you can join the TikTok Creator Fund. However, there is certain ways you can do it. I'm not telling anyone to do this, but obviously you can use like a parent's ID or something. So that's a small amount of income you can make. Obviously, selling plans or what I do is find like whatever your niche is. So obviously for me that's gym, and find out what your audience are like. So a lot of my audience are younger people, ages from 14 to 18, um, that are getting started in the gym. A lot of them are on the skinnier side and looking to bulk up. So obviously that was my target market. So I made a product for that, aka the Ultimate Guide to Bulking. So the Ultimate Guide to Bulking that provides value to them in exchange for money, and obviously the money directly supports me. So if you're looking to do it online, find your like target audience, which is will be all your followers, and find a product that will be able to benefit them, that you can add value to their lives with that product, sort of thing.
Obviously, because of this, I mean, it's, one of your many jobs that you have at the moment, but social media is a massive part of your life. It's also a massive part of everyone's life, and maybe it's a little bit too much sometimes. You wake up in the morning, you check your socials, you have breakfast, you sit on your phone, you go to school, you walk into your lesson, let's check my phone quick, you go to bed, I'm just going to fall asleep to some YouTube. It can become a lot because you're on that so much. Do you do anything to limit your usage personally?
That I'd say my screen time and getting distraction is probably my biggest flaw. Like I'm always on my phone, and it is something that I'm trying to work on towards, because it's all in one place. My WhatsApp, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Snapchat, my YouTube's all there. Like I've got a mix of personal, I've got a mix of business, I've got a mix of just fun on there. It is hard, and it's definitely a hard skill to master. But once you do, it's definitely beneficial. What I'm currently doing is, so I, I wake up at 4:55 a.m. on most days. So I have my phone from 4:55 to 5 a.m. and then I've set the screen time to not let me go on my phone from 5 till about 5:30. So that lets me go. So I get up, I eat food, and then I read for a bit. So I read about 20 odd pages of a book. So during that time, it doesn't let me go on my phone. It like doesn't let me go on any of the apps. So I found just by restricting myself there, like automatically just stops me from going on it. And then obviously I just like when I wake up, I check all the important stuff like any messages or if anything's happened overnight. But realistically, 9 times out of 10, there isn't really anything. It's just all stupid stuff. Um, and then I try and set times throughout the day when I will go on my phone for specific things. So during my break and lunch times, I try and reply to DMs, reply to messages, etc. So like I'd set times throughout the day when I will reply. But 100%, I feel like that is my biggest flaw of trying to separate my phone from being on it all the time, because it's so easy to distracted. Like I could be on my MacBook editing, I need a TikTok audio, I'll go on TikTok and I'm like, oh, I'll just watch like 2 or 3 videos. Then I'm there for 10 minutes, I'm like, oh crap, I need to get back to what I'm doing. So I feel like that's definitely what I struggle with the most. But I've given a few tips on how I would manage it if I could, and what I'm working towards doing.
You mentioned it there as well. It's kind of like that element of, oh, let me just check because I might be missing out. And when actually it's not just you have a different aspect to it. It's almost as if like you don't check your phone, you could miss an opportunity. Someone could be messaging you right now. You kind of have that in your head. Don't check your phone now though. Focus on the podcast. Anyway, but Yeah, I mean, most people just have to deal with the fact that they're gonna miss a message from their friends. You've got to miss the fact that you can miss a message from your client or someone message you on Instagram. Maybe me inviting you on the podcast. Stuff like that is important, right? So just is that part of the reason why you feel like you can't really limit yourself on your phone too much?
100%, especially when I've lost opportunities to work with a few brands just because I haven't replied because I've wanted to not be on my phone, and then obviously I've lost that opportunity there. I'm trying to find a good balance between work and then just like actually getting off my phone and using it just for like just dumbless scrolling that doesn't really add value to me, because I've always said if I wasn't in the social space, I probably wouldn't have half the social medias that I do, because I know how bad they are for me. Like I know I can literally wake up and spend an hour or two on TikTok, and none of that's like added any value to me at all. No value to my life. So it is annoying that I am in the space in that sense, because I have to scroll through TikTok, see what the new trends are, see what sounds are trending. Same with Instagram Reels. So it's like a catch 22 where I've got to be on it, but I don't want to be on it if I didn't have to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is so bad because a lot of people their main objective is to just limit their social media usage, so it's better for your mental health. But then for now, okay, just give me some time. Let me develop this as far as I can, and then eventually, when I need to, when I know that maybe when you've got people working for you, I don't know, but when you don't need to be constantly on it, then you'll take that break.
Once I know I've done my work for the day, I just try and like then I'll use my phone to reply to mates, like use it for how anyone would. But I do just try and avoid the dumb, like I don't have any games on my phone because realistically I don't see any like value in my life to that. I only reply to people when I see like deemed like need to, like if it's just like if they just pop up to me and they just say yo, I will not reply, because if you needed me that bad, you'd say what you needed straight away, sort of thing. But yeah, it's just one of them things. Like I love, everyone loves using their phone, but it's just I need it's also comes down to discipline. Like you've got to be disciplined within yourself to tell yourself, okay, no, like I've finished scrolling, I've stopped now. As well, you can also control what you see, especially with things like like let's say Snapchat, for example. You can control who you're following, you control who you're subscribed to. So a lot of the people I'm subscribed to are people who talk about mindset, talk about business, entrepreneurship. So whenever I'm on Snapchat, that's what I see. So if I am scrolling, it's still important stuff and stuff that like is what interests me. But I know a lot of people, you go onto their Snapchat, you go onto their subscription, it's girls shaking their stuff, it's all of this, like all bad stuff that doesn't really add a lot of value to them, and it's just a small, simple pleasure to them. So I try, you can control what you see. So that's another thing. Like look at who you're following, look at the content that's actually coming up. Is that adding value to you? If not, unfollow them. And yeah, obviously I follow the odd meme page here and there, because obviously humor's a nice thing to have, but I don't have that as one thing that comes up on my Instagram or Snapchat, etc.
I saw one of your reels recently. It was a Lightroom tutorial of you editing a picture of yourself. Obviously, you posing in the gym. Now, that it was quite useful, to be fair. Like I've never known specifically how people do that. I know a little bit about Lightroom. I use it sometimes for the thumbnail edits, but I've never, tried to use it to change how I look or, in that respect. Anyway, considering issues around body image, steroids, comparison to other people online, I've never seen anyone post something like that, and I don't think other people really would, because it's kind of like the secret of the trade, really, isn't it? When how you get people to look at a picture in that certain way that you post. What was your intentions behind that video? Were you aware of all those kind of issues? Was it a plan?
Well, there was a video that I posted not long before that where it was like the secrets like it was like exposing myself or something. It was like and I literally did a video that I took like 2 days before in the gym in really good lighting, and I looked incredible. I'm not gonna lie, happiest I ever looked at the time. And then I literally cut it to me in my bedroom in my mirror, terrible lighting, a few meals in the day, and I just looked terrible. Like what I was trying to do is just keep it real and just show people like what you see on social media is fake. So when I made the Lightroom tutorial, obviously there was a part of the video where I was just trying to teach people how to edit their photos, because a lot of people, they see the nice edits and they just don't know how to do it. So there's that. But also just trying to show that the amount of change you can make with just by turning a few dials is incredible. So when you do see a picture, don't like that isn't them 24/7 at all. Like that is them in the best lighting, in with the best cameras, like with the best edits behind it. So I just try and keep it real as much as possible. I don't like to fake anything. I just like to express myself how I am. I don't want to have anyone to have this fake idea of me, if that makes sense.
Do you think people should have to announce on their social media posts, like Instagram, whatever, whether they've altered the picture, whether it's been edited? Should there be a little sign or something like that, just to kind of make people aware of the fact that no, what expectations are really realistic, or do you think people should just kind of be aware of it by this stage?
I think any so the only ever edits I do are lighting edits. So like changing the contrast, saturation, sharpening, etc. That's the only ever edits I'll do. I'll never get the enlarge tool and make my shoulders look bigger, make my waist look smaller, sort of thing. I would never do that because that is just a fake body at the end of the day. Like that isn't even you. You're not showing the best you. You're just showing a fake you. So I think if it's especially ones where they've like done something like that, I think it should be highlighted because it's just giving people false. Like when you see like a guy with like a really tiny waist and like massive shoulders, you're like, is that real? Like sometimes, I think with just lighting edits, I don't think there should be because realistically, like there's so many things you can do. Like Lightroom and other equivalents like DaVinci are so powerful. Like you can change the entire like image just by changing a few things. I don't think like lighting edits should be like announced, but if it's like you're changing the shape or size of something, then 100% should be.
If you could talk to yourself though, when you first started out doing TikTok and starting on really your career, what would you say to yourself as a bit of advice after learning what you've learned so far?
Oh, that's a good one. Mine would be so I went through a little period where I plateaued at about 23.7K. All my videos were doing about 2 to 3 thousand views, and although that's like decent, it was a stall. Like I wanted to get to the next level, and it took me a little while to realize. But like a lot of my content at the time was just utter crap. Like it was just easy stuff I can make in like 5 or 10 minutes, and I was just posting for the sake of posting. So if I could go back to when I first started, my biggest advice would be look at the video you made. If you were someone else scrolling through their For You page, would you stop and watch that video? If that's a no, re-edit it or remake it and scrap the video because there's no point just posting if you know that video is a bad video. Like when I post, I look at that video and I'm like, okay, do I want this to be out there? Yes. Do I like how it's edited? Yes. Would I watch the video if I was someone else, like who isn't me? Yeah. If it ticks all them boxes, I'll post it. So that's my biggest advice for sure.
What about your biggest advice to yourself when you first started out in the gym?
Warm up. Warming up would be so I got injured really badly. I injured my hip flex, no, my piriformis by squatting. I used to never warm up before leg days. I would ego lift, etc., things like that. And yeah, that put me out both mentally and physically for a little while. So I'd say like just warm up into your sessions, do your dynamic stretches, and don't ego lift. Don't PR one week and then try and PR the next week. As nice as the numbers are, they don't mean anything at all. Because once you get injured, it will set you back straight to square one.
And then looking forward to the future, in 5 years' time, where do you want to see yourself?
5 years is a hard one because when I look back at the past 9 months, my life's done a complete U-turn. Is gone crazy. So in 5 years, I want to see myself working with brands like Gymshark and working more closely with my protein. I want to be making more of an impact on the UK gym scene. Hopefully, bring more education and more insight on getting into the actual gym in like the education sector, so in schools, actually providing more of a proper information to pupils in school about the gym because a lot of it is just like doing hit cardio or like circuit training, all this, none actually like bodybuilding or powerlifting style of things. And also running a social media agency. So I'm currently in the process of starting that up with my business partner, and that's something I want as well. Be able to help other people manage their social accounts, grow, build an audience, and monetize all their socials.
Have you got any goals just in regards to like competing in bodybuilding?
It's something I have considered. I know I could definitely do it. I've got the determination, willpower, etc. to do it, but I'm nowhere near where I need to be right now too. Hopefully, I would love to do a under 19 show, so like a junior bodybuilding show. Natural, of course. I would never jump on to steroids at all, but I have got a coach, so it's something I do want to speak to him about and see if it is possible uh, in the next like year or two to be able to do that.
Do you mind me asking who your coach is?
No, yeah, feel free to keep it in. He's called Martin Winston. He's a what are they called? Like a prep condition coach, along with lifestyle and just men's coach. So I kind of know him through family, but he's been doing it over 10, 15 years now. He coaches a few people he's coached some people to get their IFBB pro cards. He's got many people first place and overall wins in all their categories. So he definitely knows the stuff, and he mainly helps me with my nutrition because that's something I don't really know a lot about. And I know I could definitely go out there and learn about it, but I haven't really got the time to. And it's such a complex subject. I'd rather just delegate that and get someone else to worry about that for me. So, yeah, and it's nice to have a coach as well because it takes some of the accountability out of it. Like, I know if I've got a problem with my training or nutrition, I can just go speak to them about it and I don't have to worry about it.
Kian, been really, really good, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. Where can people find you on social media? TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
So I'm actually one of the lucky ones. It's all the same on all platforms. It's Kian Penkrat, so KianPenkrat. The last name's a hard one to spell. Both on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all of them. And yeah, as well, obviously Coach Kian on my protein. I hope you don't mind me plugging. And if you could use my link as well, that supports me. I have the ultimate guide to bulking if you're looking for recipes to help you bulk up and put on some mass, especially over the winter periods. That's there as well at ultimateguidetobulking.com.
All right, Jesus, Kian, that's enough now. If there is anything else, send me over the links, and they go straight in the description.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I've loved this. It's a nice opportunity, and I've loved speaking with you, Ashley. Honestly, it's been incredible.
Brilliant. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever, guys. Cheers.